So how is it to drive for Uber?
It's chilling for the most part. It's I like to drive in the mornings when it's nice and calm generally.
Yeah, especially for being Hollywood.
Yeah,
Yeah, most definitely.
but it's best as a secondary source of income. If you're doing it like full time, it gets to be a pain on your back and just from sitting down so much.
Yeah, I bet. And then what I've heard is that it's always like a great second income. Do you get taxed, or how does it exactly work?
So it's you'll get taxed on all of it at the end of the year. It's not like a W-2 where they take your taxes out before you get it.
Yeah.
So you get whatever you earn, but you just have to deal with your taxes at the end of the year.
Do you like being an Uber driver?
Yeah, it's reasonable. I like it. It's great for extra money.
That's good.
When I find myself in months work, 'cause I do freelance work. So if I didn't get another gig at all that month, and I like have to drive Uber to make the bills, I get just long hours are not ideal.
Yeah.
I end up not liking it after, like, I could do it 3 or 4 hours a day, and that's like right in the sweet spot where I can, like, it's worthwhile to do. If you do it consistently, you still make a nice chunk of money.
Yeah.
But once it gets doing, like, if I have to do like a full-time week, my back will be killing me.
I'd be out of commission.
Yeah.
Well, you're actually just dropping me off to Grandpa's,
Oh, nice.
and I read to him once a week because he's legally blind.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, so I go and visit him once a week, and today's his day. Only I'm a little late because I should have been there like a half hour ago.
Oh yeah. What do you read to him?
His mail, nothing like interesting. He's absolutely pretty dry. He likes to talk about movies and things he finds on the internet, but he absolutely hates bios or books.
Really?
Like he's not a softie in that way. He's more of a life softie. He has to really know like a story in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he definitely likes to watch TV shows. He tells me which ones to watch. He actually, out of all the humans that I've ever had in my life, he's the one. Have you ever heard of iRobot?
Yeah.
Or no, Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. He's like, I think you'll like it. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I think it's up your alley. And I totally watched it because of him.
Do you like it?
I do.
Yeah, it's a cool show.
I do
I
like
haven't
it.
gotten very far, but
Yeah. Somebody once told me they thought it was an anime, and I'm like, no, it's not an anime. I don't even know why you think that, but it's
well, the little character, I guess,
yeah.
but not really.
That's
It's just like a spin of the Anonymous Mask.
Yeah. But with elaborate story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I really definitely enjoyed it a lot. And it's taken me a little bit to get onto the second season, but I'll get to it.
Yeah, I haven't made it through the first season yet.
Have you watched any other shows that you would recommend?
Funny enough, Amanda Knox I liked.
Oh.
That was
And
interesting.
then there it is.
On Netflix.
And what is that exactly?
So it's a true story of Amanda Knox, who was a foreign exchange student from the U.S. I forget specifically where she's from, though she's living in Seattle now. And it was a huge story in the media when it happened. Her roommate in Italy,
Yeah.
this British girl, was found like grotesquely murdered.
Whoa.
And she ended up going to jail for something like 7 years before she was found innocent.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and
Wow.
like the evidence that convicted her was very suspect. Just like the like main detective in this like really small town in Italy just was
It was like, you're the one. You're an outsider, therefore
Yeah,
you did it.
exactly really stupid.
Oh, man.
Like she had like she just moved there, right? So she just like met a boyfriend. So she was at the boyfriend's house the night of the murder, and then they came back in the morning and discovered a locked door. And they're like, "What's going on with the locked door?" So they called the cops. The cops came, busted the door down, and found, the dead body.
Whoa.
So they're like, so she was instantly, they're like, okay, well, you found it. So what happened? I don't know. I wasn't here last night.
Wow.
And because her and the guy she had was still in the fresh stages of romance with were kind of touchy-feely.
Yeah.
They're outside waiting and they're hugging and just very light kissing. But they're like.
But
so,
dude was like, maybe you a killer.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, okay.
Maybe
so,
you be lying.
Exactly. They're like, and then it turned into this whole crazy thing where she's like.
Oh no, nobody's trusting her.
They
I know
told
how
her
that
that
feels.
she had HIV
Wow.
while she was in prison, and so in her journal she's just kind of reflecting on it and going through everybody she slept with in her life, and just how could I have HIV, and it's and then they fucking released her diary publicly.
Whoa.
So then it turned into this whole story about her just being a sexual predator, and it just got so completely out of control.
All this because she went to prison in Italy.
Yep, and
That's insane.
yeah, she
It
ended
makes
up
you not want to travel sometimes, but it's good for you.
Did you ever see Making a Murderer?
No, I've been recommended to watch that actually.
It's very, very good. It plays on the same theme of the confirmation bias on behalf of the police.
Right.
Where they think they have the person, so they just only really look for evidence that's going to support their thoughts and disregard other evidence. So it ended up being they found a knife with both of their DNAs on it. With Amanda Knox's DNA on the handle and the girl that got murdered's DNA on the blade.
Wow.
But, of course, they fucking lived in the house together.
Yeah. So it's
And,
duh.
So of course her DNA is going to be on one of the fucking knives. And the other one was it was such a bad DNA sample that it was statistically insignificant. And basically it's just because they tested everything together and they put everything together that it got cross-contaminated. So some of the blood from her bra could have easily touched the knife and wiped off on the knife and then been able to see on the knife. It was such a minute amount of DNA evidence on the blade.
It was a 10% for real evidence, and then they blew it up, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just her and the boyfriend ended up both getting released 7 years later, but it was a pretty big story in the news.
Wow. How long ago was that? The actual real story?
10, 15 years ago.
Wow. It's intense.
Yeah, it was pretty bonkers. So that was really cool.
That's exactly what I hear on the Parks and Rec. Oh man, trying to get out of your vehicle. There you go. Well, I thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a great time with Grandpa.
I know, right? Grandpa!
Yeah, it's so cool that you do that.
Yeah, one of the few people that do, but it got to get done. He's not gonna live forever.
Exactly. It's one of the few people that have the opportunity.
Yeah. Have a good one. So that went good. I actually had to create conversation because I couldn't handle his playlist. I know, side note. Anyway, so I actually do this once a week, and if I don't do this, that means there's something really rare happening, which kind of happened in May. It means I'm not really, it's their home. It's very interesting. Anyways, he's not gonna understand that this video is playing, and he can't because they hate cameras, but we'll see what happens. And then we'll leave it at that because they're very anti-cameras, serious. She almost ripped it off my hand. Opa!
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Are you ready?
How are you? I'm ready.
Woo!